Told mama I'm the closest thing to hope. Thank God that she never went to hope. Just got paid, I'm the closest thing to broke. I've been hanging by a thread, that shit looking like a rope. Oh Lord, everything ain't what it seemed. Tried to hit your line, but the message turned green. Got some niggas happy that I ain't made it rapping yet. Still stressed out on some shit that didn't happen yet. Now tell me what you see when you looking at me. Do you mind if you remind me of me? Before I bring you to the door, I'ma give you the key. What you need to bring the world to their knees. Would you come to all my shows if I said it was free? Would you leave if I charged you a fee? Me and my niggas gonna eat, so you better believe you sold your soul, you ain't got no receipts. Look at me. I was lost, now I'm found. I ain't got no one around. My feet on top of ground, need someone to hold me down, and my Sprite needs some crown. Shit got bad and we moving too fast, and them niggas getting mad at me. I grew up too fast, had jobs don't last, so some shit I didn't have to be. Baby, hold on. Told you last summer we was gonna be on. All I need is one song. It won't be long. Yeah, it won't be long. Lately I've been smoking, I've been trying to ease the pain. Simulation seem to always stimulate my brain. Mama used to tell me, boy, appreciate the rain, cause without it sunny days will all of a sudden feel so plain. This is what it is. Had to hold it down for my brother and my kin. Rest in peace, Paul, rest in peace to T-Win. I ain't even crying, I'ma see them boys again. Saturday done dropped out and made another classic. Told me if I keep praying for it, I can have it. Brand new soul, like it's wrapped up in plastic. Crazy, they ain't love me this much when I was ashy. Shit got bad and we moving too fast, and them niggas getting mad at me. I grew up too fast, had jobs don't last, so some shit I didn't have to be. Baby, hold on. Told you last summer we was gonna be on. All I need is one song. It won't be long. Yeah, it won't be long.
All right, what it do, what it do. Welcome to Optimistic Talk Radio. Look, you already got the crew. You got the crew in the house, you know what I'm saying? D-Belle ain't here today, but you already know. Rick here. It's Ricky! You know, he's here. He's a regular part of the show now. And look, I'm about to hand it over to these guys. We're going to go ahead and get it popping.
Well, I'm Ivy, and I
I'm Shay.
wasn't here last week, but I'm
Oh,
here this week. My bad, Shay.
look, I've been gone for so long too. Ivy, I was excited.
Yeah,
Oh
I've been gone for
man,
3 years, man. That's sad, bro.
They don't like. Do they remember us?
right? Like, golly, I forgot. Got to take turns to introduce ourselves. What's up, Rick? I heard you been holding it down for us, Rick.
What's going on? It's your boy Rick, not the trick. How everybody doing today?
We good. We good.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Let's get to it.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, how you doing, y'all? It's Marley Martin Superstar, aka Hippy McGee, aka Mr. Loverman. Marley. Let's go.
What?
Molly.
We
Funny
all
at this point.
get too long.
Look, man, hey, y'all, before we get everything kicked off, you know what I'm saying? It ain't what it is. We don't represent our city. So, look, you already know, man. If it ain't Shreveport, it ain't nothing else going on in the city. Let's go ahead and play this little
Oh,
clip.
hey, we got a breaking news, man. Tory Lane's been stabbed in prison.
Oh man.
Yep. Stabbed on up.
Yep, got stabbed up, man.
That's
Oh,
Megan,
unfortunate.
Megan done
This,
sent them goons.
n-
Man, that
nah, we ain't going. We can't say that though. We can't say that.
Megan get put a hit on him in Rock
Allegedly.
Nation.
You can say anything as long as you put allegedly behind it.
Allegedly. Now he wouldn't be in this predicament had he told who really stabbed her, shot her, or whatever.
It was the best friend. It was the best
Why
friend.
he
I
didn't say
still
it?
believe
Because
it's the
I
best
tell
friend.
you what, if
Now,
I gotta serve anything past 5 minutes, I'm telling. So he in this predicament because himself.
I'm telling over
That
some Red Lobster biscuits.
oh God, oh God. Just bring me a
Well, that's
Sprite, a pack of
unfortunate.
9 laters, and I'm gonna sing your song to you.
Man.
Look, y'all. In local news, we're gonna go ahead and play this video, and y'all can talk about that. We go get it popping. Let's go.
Come on, let's see what's going on here. Is this kid's graduation? It's kids' graduation, man. Man, it's kids' graduation. Oh no, it's kids' graduation, man.
Man, who they got the fat ass in the background?
Boy, that
That
probably
was a
Sure had
dude.
that thumper.
That was a dude.
Oh,
Nah,
that,
that was a woman. She had some great sweatpants. I seen her. I ain't talking about the one that had the crack at that had the crack out. I ain't
now
talking
I
about that ass.
like it don't get that crucial for y'all to throw down like that at the preschool well, no graduation period. Like I wonder what stemmed all that for them to do all that. The kids walking in and y'all just
Just rumbling.
Man, they just at my school, man. I went to middle school in Turner, man.
no. This Hershey D. Walker. We couldn't find the
Oh,
video.
that's Hershey B. Walker. Okay,
This
cool.
this
That
from but this
oh
the
Her,
pre
Lord, thank you.
Hercy
this
D.
the
I
Wilson,
don't know
y'all.
nobody who went there. I don't know nobody who went there.
Talking
I
about the
mean,
football player,
it's like Hershey,
Hershey
Hercy
B.
D.
Hershey.
Walker.
Wilson.
Oh, I know you said Hershey Walker. I was like, dang, he got a school. All right, don't worry about it.
My thing is if you can't control your emotions to the extent where like your children are there, like people don't understand. Now you about to get a serious charge because you disturbed the peace in a school setting. You can't even be around schools anymore. You a violent offender now.
And then somebody said, like, I didn't see it. Somebody who sent me the video was like, the person with the tan shirt had a gun on his hip, but I couldn't even.
Hmm.
You seen it? I couldn't see it.
They said he came back. He was coming back with the gun. I don't know if he had it in a car or what it was,
Oh,
but
Yeah,
he
he got
left and
arrested.
came back. Yeah, it
oh,
ain't that. It ain't that. Look, what you gonna do? Like you gonna spray the whole school up? Like seriously? These are children.
Yeah. And why the person who's filming the video keep yelling, this a kid's graduation. They know where they at. You ain't gotta keep yelling that.
right.
Hey, you know what the sad part? I think I know that girl that's filming. I'm like, she always filming something, man. I'm like, ah, shit.
Oh Lord.
So if an accident occurred, she ain't gonna. She won't be no help. She'll film it.
Nah,
Okay.
not at all, not at all. Don't worry about her,
She thinks she's Spike Lee. Cut that
man. For
camera off,
real.
girl.
Oh, do the right thing, face ass.
Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong. I've had a little some incidents in front of my child. You know,
You was scrapping, tell the truth. Now you know
no,
what
no,
they say,
no,
the
no. We
incidents.
was we was scrapping, but we was going to. Was we was going to, but I had to realize, you know what, I have to be a better example for my child. But
Yeah.
you have to like really take that in consideration that you would traumatize your child them seeing you fighting and
Carrying on like
mm-mm.
that. You
Yeah.
know they kids
Yeah.
bad. You know they kids bad.
Well, now they traumatized. All them kids traumatized. I'd be really
Yeah.
upset if my child was there and y'all rumbling, ass crack out, rolling on the floor
Stinking.
like a roly poly.
No, they
Mm-mm.
were
You said
musty.
stinking.
Look
Man.
musty.
You
You
know
go,
it's
your kid,
musty in there.
yeah, you in Hershey, walk Hershey D, whatever it is. Don't ain't
See,
nobody who go there. You know it's musty in the auditorium.
mustard.
Mm-mm.
I
Mm-mm.
know, man. I feel bad for the being traumatized, man. Cause I've been
Yeah.
traumatized one time, man. Cause I walked in on my grandpa, and my grandma, traumatized.
Oh no.
What, fighting? Fighting?
Now, well, you can call it that.
Horizontal tango?
They was wrestling naked.
Yeah, that's worse than what I got. I just saw my mama throw an iron at my daddy when she got mad at him. That traumatized me. But you took the cake with that one, pimp.
Oh man, I'm talking about you. That's too much wrinkle to see.
Why you busting their door anyway? That's what you get.
you were flattening them
Man,
wrinkles out.
she talking about she had a power ready for me. I was like, I bet. Came in there in the living room, middle of the living room, just wrestling, butt naked. I'm
Oh, that's
like,
what I'm
I don't
talking
even
about,
want the pot no
Papa.
more.
what?
I don't even want no more Jello.
Hey, look, I can't look at a coconut pie no more.
Not coconut pie.
Dang, I ain't had a coconut pie so long. I know that coconut pie was so good. Oh my goodness, I want to make one. Let me
No,
look
I
at it.
can't look at it no more. I can't do it. Mm-mm.
Can't even eat a coconut pie no more.
No, don't even worry about it no more.
Well, next time
Um,
Granny make with coconut pie, let me know so I can get one.
hey, I don't know. You gonna you gonna be wrestling butt naked on the in the living room, kissing wrinkly. Then you don't need that coconut pie. I don't even want to.
Well, you shouldn't have been busted up in their house or room anyway. So,
It was open. The screen door was open. And everything.
oh, that's the type of carrying on I'm trying to do when I get old.
Come on now.
Ew.
First come out in a day. What?
Hey, I'm still a virgin. I don't need to hear all this.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
Hey, yeah,
hey,
right.
hey,
Okay.
y'all
well,
laughing a little bit too
well,
hard. Hold
Yeah,
on
hear it
now.
in your voice.
Mm. Look, while y'all talking
well,
about kids being traumatized, man, we go ahead and flip the script to this other incident that actually happened in February in New Mexico. Let's check this out, y'all.
You're not in trouble, but you have to drop that and come talk to us, all right?
Authorities say this video shows the standoff between New Mexico sheriff's deputies and two young boys.
Just put it down, babe.
In February, police were called to an Albuquerque home where investigators say they found the 7 and 9-year-old boys brandishing a loaded gun.
You guys have his finger on the trigger right now.
Hey,
Put it down.
put it
Don't
down,
do
buddy.
that.
The officers say one of the boys tried to pull the trigger multiple times, but the gun malfunctioned. Police fired a non-lethal round in their direction,
Drop it!
causing the boy to point the gun towards deputies. Moments later, officers rush in and wrestle the gun away. Authorities say state laws prohibited them from arresting the children or removing them from their mother's custody. They say the boy's father, who is currently in jail, owns the gun
Yeah.
and could face charges. It comes as officials are concerned over a rise in guns at schools in the area. Albuquerque Public Schools report 13 guns have been confiscated from school grounds this school year so far. Police say they
Daddy in jail and he finna catch another charge while in jail or somebody getting their ass beat.
seven,
Man,
7 and 8. I mean, 7 and 9 year olds. That's
They
wild.
trying to be just
That's
like daddy.
Okay.
man.
Were they white?
yeah,
They
they
look
white.
Mexican.
With
Mm,
Oh, they
in
was white?
Mexico.
mm.
It look like they either white or well, they look
Close
like they were
enough.
white on that in that video.
Close
But New
enough.
Mexico got a lot of Mexicans.
They were so gentle with them children. Had there been black kids,
Oh,
Oh
they
no,
be, they be
you know that
different.
happened to Tamir Rice. You know he got shot down
And there was a
with a
toy
pellet gun.
gun. Yep.
Yeah, cause I posted it on my Facebook, man. I was like, man, of that video. I was like, man, I wish they had the patience with Tamir Rice as they did them two boys right there. Because well, from my knowledge, a pellet gun is less harmless than that real gun they had right there.
Oh,
So
it
I don't know.
definitely is. I didn't even know it was a pellet gun. I thought it was a toy gun, but even still a pellet gun, that's like a BB gun. That ain't gonna kill nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
I done shot folk
So
with BB gun before. They ain't dead.
nah,
I
it
was
might
around
sting
it.
a little, but
oh,
you ain't gonna
oh,
kill you.
oh,
Like, where did they even get the access to the gun? From guns. And how long the daddy been in jail? So he ain't have
right.
no knowledge of it. The mama should have had him put up or what have you.
You right. Like, why we not blaming? Why we not putting the blame and the responsibility on the mothers or the
Yeah.
guardians?
I hate
Right.
to say that because I know she probably a single mama trying to do the best that she can, but at the end of the day, daddy in jail, it couldn't have been him. Because, it got to
Right.
be,
No,
he
Right.
might
you
be the
scared.
owner
You
of
trying
it,
to
but
charge him. Right.
he
Yeah,
probably left the guns with his wife, with his family, so she could protect the house since he's no longer going to be around. But not give
right.
it to the kids or not let the kids have access to it.
If you know
Do you
he
know
left them
kids like to
guns to
explore? You
you,
know.
but you know them guns are left to you. You the one need to secure them properly. These are your
Yeah,
children.
that's right. I agree.
So I think it's a cop out to sit there and let them not be held accountable, and instead they want to blame the father who he already is. Like, come on now,
Right.
seriously.
You pointed the gun and tried to squeeze the trigger multiple times.
Right.
So that's crazy, right? I'm assuming the safety was
And
probably, they
But
said the gun malfunction, but the safety was probably on, and they probably didn't know
yeah,
how to take the safety out.
That was
but
number
for
guy.
But you know, other
Facts.
races take their kids to the gun range at that age. Because if you go to around here to the gun range, it'd be a lot of younger
Hmm.
kids there shooting,
Mhm.
shooting guns and things. So most kids are taught at an early age how to shoot and all that other good stuff. So I
Yeah,
don't think,
my dad took me.
yeah.
I think I was like 8 because I was in Boy Scouts, and he took me
Yeah.
because he's a gun fanatic. He got a lot of guns, and so then he took me to learn to a gun range, and he also took me hunting when I was 10.
Yeah,
But
same my
but
pops.
that taught me gun safety. That taught me how to respect the gun. This ain't
Mhm.
no toy. This is
Right.
real deal right here.
Yeah.
So, so I know this is it's like a little off subject, but kind of like the y'all seen what happened to the them teens that kicked that man door in and then they arrested
Woo.
him. The boy,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now, what happened? What happened? I didn't.
It's
uh,
supposed to be a prank, like a
yeah,
door
Oh
ditch.
yeah.
that's wild. And then that dude, like, they arrested him.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
What he black?
Yep,
Yeah,
he
he's a
Okay,
black
that's
guy
why. That's
white.
why.
And it was white boys.
Yep,
Yeah.
at
trying
Yep.
to
3 o'clock in the
break
morning.
in, man.
Yeah, they talking about it was a prank at 3 o'clock in the morning, and y'all
That's
ain't able to show
traumatizing. They ain't,
no
I
other
ain't laughing.
TikToks that y'all been doing. They were trying to talk about it was a TikTok prank, but y'all ain't been able to show that y'all been doing this. But they did say that in the neighborhood there's been a lot of break-ins going around. So that man thought somebody was trying to protect his house. I did the same
Mhm.
thing.
You kick
Yeah.
my door in. Yeah. I'm not about to wait for you. I done been traumatized. I'm about to wait for you to
No,
identify yourself. We just
no,
gonna go ahead and just let it blow.
yeah, exactly,
I'm gonna say it
Let
at the
it
same
exactly,
time. Hey, identify yourself. Identify yourself.
exactly,
what them
exactly.
kids say? They go. I need to get one of them. What's them things called? They call them sticks now. We call extensions, but
Yeah.
old
Stick
people
with
that's
a
what we
dick.
call them. Oh wow,
That's what they say.
yeah. In a YN we trust. In YNs we trust. Okay.
Man,
Real.
I
Yeah,
hate
that's
that.
crazy.
I
That's
do
crazy.
think that when it comes to like young boys and children who, because it's a lot of kids who are doing this break in and people are defending their property and things like that. And I understand the frustration of you think that people, oh, they're not harming you, they're just stealing your stuff. People shouldn't retaliate, and that's not fair because some people, this is not a time to, some people can't bounce back right now. This is not a time to take no losses for a lot of people.
That's a
It's
fact.
rough. It is
Hey,
rough. So you stealing somebody's car could be, there could change their life trajectory right over here. Like, don't do that.
Yeah,
hey,
right.
what's
I
that
should
in
have the right.
Florida?
Stay in your ground.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in Louisiana too. Most
It
southern
is.
states they have stand your ground. Oh yeah, most southern states. I want to say all southern states pretty much have all stand your ground laws. Now some of them
Yeah.
vary, because some of your stand your ground laws will bring in also not just your castle but also your property as well. So if somebody's trying to steal your property, the same thing counts. You can still shoot them as well. However,
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken, the place where they're at, um, they weren't necessarily in a state that also took care of property as well. So
Okay.
had
Mhm.
the young men entered the house and brandished weapons, they would have been justified. But with them, I guess, not making it all the way in the house, then that's why they're trying to say why they arrested him.
Mm, that's still so. That's
Yeah,
fucked up.
Well, that stand
Well,
a lot of
I'm
age for
I'm gonna
black
be
people.
honest. You try to take my car and you in my face. Hey, may the best nigga win. Like
that's a
it.
fact. And a lot of those laws, and I heard somebody
A
else say
new
this
one.
too. I do want to bring this up. A lot of those laws were not meant for black people. They were meant to justify
Not at all.
white people killing black people and having an
Right.
excuse to why
Right.
they killed them. They can always say, "Hey, he was trying to do X, Y, Z," and the person who he dead, he can't say what he was trying to do. He might not have been trying to do nothing. And that the white folk kill, hey, I'm just trying to protect my house. That man wasn't doing nothing to you or your house.
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
So that's why those laws are in effect. So them laws don't, like most laws, they ain't never really worked for us.
Right.
That's
Mm,
crazy.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Pray for that man. I hope he's able to beat that. I hope he's able to get a good lawyer. Hopefully they got a good GoFundMe account to help him pay for his legal fees and all that good stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, definitely
All
got to
right,
donate. If they do it, then I'm definitely gonna donate.
look.
Facts.
So speaking of a lawyer, why don't we get into the Diddy trial? I know the Diddy trial started this week, man. Let's talk
Mm.
about it.
Boy, you a
Make
segueing fool. Boy, that boy good, ain't it? That boy good. Yeah, did it cook.
All right, y'all. So
Did it
what
cook.
what the word is, which y'all see in the top, this article was pulled from TMZ. It says Diddy made okay. Well, they said Diddy male escort urinate in Cass's mouth. Prosecutors claim in court. So this is how the trial is opening. So what y'all think about this?
That's nasty. And transparency. I there ain't a nigga alive.
that could make me or make me do or allow anybody to do that shit to me.
Okay.
What does it
Shit.
taste like? Raspberry Kool-Aid.
What?
No, it never.
Oh,
If it even look like raspberry Kool-Aid, you going to the hospital. But no. Mm-mm. I'm not victim blaming. So I don't want nobody to think that I'm victim blaming.
but it had the
What
right
we're
amount of
just
sugar in it though.
But
shut up.
Might have been
What,
diabetic.
no, but what we saying is, and I, I know Shay feel the same way. Like we're not victim blaming. It's just at some point you do have to have some type, some type of control of your life, and yeah, that draws the line for me. I heard it was so graphic his children had to leave the courtroom.
Yeah.
Diddy just a
Yeah,
whole freak.
that's crazy.
Hey, can I jump on
Um
this right here?
look at that.
Ah,
he got Brian Steele on his one of his lawyers. I'm like, okay, Brian Steele.
listen. Hey, Diddy
Still a
innocent, man.
beast.
Cause he just like every other folks that's in the swinger party. He innocent. Like if you gonna arrest him, arrest everybody in that swinger party.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just so nasty ass freak, and that's
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
and it's nastier folks in that swinger party.
Sure
Mm-hmm.
is.
So that
It's
like if you gonna arrest him, arrest the other folks. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like them
think
swinger parties is wild.
my thing is if you feel like you're being forced to do something, why do you keep going back to go get some more of it? Like I
Yep.
Right,
Hey, that money,
thing too.
that money is power.
Right, and even the had on the stand today. I know they when they cross examined him, they brought up how he used to be a male stripper, and things like that. So and you was getting he's talking about he got paid anywhere from $700 to like $6,000 every time he's supposed to have sex with Cassie.
Mm.
600,000.
No.
Six
Dollars.
700 to 6,000 every time. That's how much money he got paid.
I mean, I hate to
You're
say it,
talking
just
about
like
the
y'all
male
y'all
escort,
said.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she need
I
to be
think
peed
some of
on
that
there.
stuff she liked. I think some of that stuff she liked. I'm not even gonna cap you down. I'm not gonna cap you down. I think a lot of that stuff is gonna end up coming out in court as well. I think
Hmm.
that's why she really didn't want to testify. Now, it's messed up because they say she's big and pregnant, by 7 months pregnant, and
Yeah,
so
she
she
get
gonna
on
have to.
tomorrow.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff she didn't want to, which is why she initially went for the settlement instead of trying to take him to court because she didn't want all that stuff to really have to come out. But
Yeah.
that 30 million that you got, it ain't you're gonna have to put yourself out there a little bit too.
right. You
Right.
So what
do.
they
You're
trying to
gonna have
say,
to,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
and
Hey,
it's
because
obvious
folks.
that he is a
She gotta
monster.
forgive herself. Yeah, she gotta forgive herself for some of that. Like, at some point, like you said, it's like some type of accountability. Like I know I can be a little freaky with my man, but I crossed the line. Like you're not pissing on me. You can go to hell.
Not even in the
Whoa.
shower.
I
y'all
don't even care.
the defense there earlier. It said his physical abuse and love for baby oil were not federal crimes. I thought that they had love for baby oil and parentheses. I mean quotation marks. My
Hey,
boy
Baby
was
Johnson,
Listen,
you serve some good baby
and
oil.
wouldn't that baby oil give you a dang? When I think of baby oil, like why would you even want to use? Like, don't they give you a yeast infection? I don't know. I just wouldn't want
I'm sure if you put it in the wrong ear,
baby oil.
They they
Yeah,
just
that let
slip
you know he
your
wasn't using it for
pH down
that.
the oh,
You probably was crazy
they
for
He
some
was
just
using it
eggs.
for a different hole. That's probably what
yep.
that was about.
They just
But
slipping and sliding, piss, just nasty.
Hmm.
just, just funky.
Hey,
Funky.
they say Cassie is not innocent herself, man. Cause they got a videotape of her getting a train ran on her. You know, but it's
Yeah,
deep. I think 56
I
trying to
do
buy
think
it,
that he
whatever.
was physical. I do think he was physically abusive to her, and maybe a part of her being physically abused. Yeah, it is hard for women who are abused to leave. Now that I can say, they kind of. I don't know what it is. It's unfortunate that they feel like that, but I do think it was obvious she was physically abused, but
yeah, yeah.
the sexual
Um,
abuse, mm-mm,
well,
mm-mm,
another thing that
yeah.
they did bring up too, they said that Cassie didn't hold her hands back either. So she used to talk with her hands too. But also the
Yeah.
thing that tripped me out so much is there were also some of Kim Porter's friends that came out and said she would when Diddy was being abusive towards Kim, Cassie would be seeing what was going on and would laugh at Kim.
Yeah, I did see
Ooh,
that. I seen that. I did see that.
You know what
damn.
I'm saying? So it's crazy to me. But then again, that's allegedly as well.
Alleged.
Yeah,
He's
You
he's
know,
just a womanizer. He's just a womanizer in money. He really leveraged a lot of nonsense with his money.
hmm
Man, prayers to them kids, man. Like,
hmm
that's another thing right there.
Especially
What are
I
you
know, especially
what are
the
your
the
power?
little ones.
Yeah, he got babies.
Yeah, he
Yeah, you
got
got.
a baby that she don't even know her daddy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man. God bless him.
Now, I
Yeah,
mean, I
man.
know this is off, but on subject, I just want to ask a question. I'm playing devil's advocate. I mean, they say that most females like, like that rough lifestyle in the bedroom. So, with some of this stuff going on with the urination, which can have a lot of riboflavin and protein, people may like that. When R. Kelly did it, I thought people thought it was pretty cool.
Man, when I be traveling, man, we always sit by the beach talk about like sexual questions. And one girl, she like to be peed on. I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I've
And
met
the
women
crazy
like that
part,
before too.
and I drunk a lot of beer, so I'm like, man, I gotta pee too. So I don't like, do she is a preference? But nah, don't worry about
Put some plastic down.
it.
That's a mental illness. And there hasn't even and nothing has ever crossed my mind for a man to say, "Yeah, pee on me."
What if it make your skin glow? Like, would you
No.
still?
What the fuck? What?
I don't even want a man to even finish on me. Move that shit.
Oh, you out of town. You out of
Mm-mm. Move that shit. Whole thing. What I don't know,
I
like I said, I'm
wanna
not
piss
saying
on
she's a
you.
victim. She's solely innocent. I'm just saying she's not a victim in other areas. I think she completely was a battered woman, but you know,
Yeah.
some might argue that one. It's unfortunate.
Well,
You
I mean, the
know.
videotape. That I don't think it's an argument in that one because that videotape,
Right.
that showed enough. Even if she did like to talk with her hands as well, not to that nature
Yeah, she didn't
Yeah.
deserve she didn't deserve
at,
he
at
dragged her
all.
ass. Yeah, he dragged her.
Exactly.
I want to be like,
Mm.
girl, get up, knock his ass out. Shit.
Just yeah, that
Fight
was crazy.
back.
Pee on him or
Girl.
something. Dang.
Right. I would have snatched that towel. Boy, I would have snatched that towel. That towel would have never missed him. I would have wrapped his ass with it so quick. That's why I ain't got no man, y'all. That's why I can't
That
keep no man.
that nigga freaky. He probably would have liked it.
He probably
Mm-hmm.
would have. He
He
probably would
like,
have
oh
peed on
yeah,
her. His nasty ass would have peed on her right there.
take that,
You
take
know,
that.
take that exactly.
We
Like
listen and we don't judge, right?
I like that part.
Yeah. I do hope she heals completely and seem like she's done a lot of healing. So I hope this doesn't re-traumatize her, especially pregnant and about to bring forth another baby. So
And
I wonder
peeing
how
in the
her new
bathroom.
man look at it.
he was there
Man, he
supporting.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure hopefully she's already told him these stories so he can already know, hey, it's going to
Mm.
come out. So
might be
this is what happened.
Yep.
But I wonder, did she tell her version of the story or did she tell the real story?
Right.
No, I doubt it.
Well, he sounds like a
man.
supportive husband.
Sound
Cross
like a sucker.
examination gonna be needed. What happened?
What what you say, Shane? They're cross examination.
I said wait till tomorrow evening to read, because they're not doing it live, but I want to, you know, what she has to say in court tomorrow, and like some of the cross-examination questions they ask her,
Yep.
because I'm dead want to know. I'm like Rick, like, it's easy to tell one side of the story when you feel like everything was gonna be, closed off, and not talked about, but now you got to get on the trap, you got to get on the stand and tell your side and what all happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm sure they're gonna say, I bet you liked it that didn't go. No.
I mean, because a good attorney would, like you said, they would do that cross examination and they would not hold back. They would not
Oh,
hold
especially
back.
Brian Steele and the legal
Man,
team that he got.
Brian still coming with all the shits tomorrow. I already know. Well,
All
whenever
the
he,
shits. All the
because I
shits. He
saw,
gonna have a porta potty with him.
yeah,
Mm.
All
because
right. So look,
he'll have.
So look, for everybody that's listening, you know what I'm saying, going forward when you tune in to Optimistic Talk Radio, we got Rick, and he's a part of the crew now. So they got a 5-man crew. I want to shout out D Belle. D Belle is not available today, but he said he shall return next week. So you already know D Belle be with this. But look, we got a new segment. And it starts with Rick, and I want to go ahead and pull it up. We're going to go ahead and talk about it, y'all. I think this is going to take us out. The name of the segment is Talk
All right.
with Rick. Topic of the day.
Come on.
Go ahead, Rick. Do your thing, son.
All right. Now, one thing I've been noticing a whole lot, as you know, you're reading through social media and you're hearing people talk, it's a very big disconnect between men and women. When I say men and women, I'm mainly just talking about us, black men and black women, and the things that we're going through, why marriage rates are slipping, why it seems like a lot of our children are out of control, graduation rates are dropping between our black young men, suicide rates are up in black young men and black young women, narcotics abuse in black young men, black young women, a lot of not so great households, a lot of broken households. And, I come from a broken household as well, so I'm not trying to put the blame on any particular gender, but we do have an issue going on at the disconnect between black and women, black men and black women. And I think that's something that we really need to tackle because the nuclear family is being destroyed, and we see the positive things that can come from a healthy nuclear family, as in graduation rates are higher in other races, marriage rates are higher in other races. Kids, when they grow up, they're striving to get married more in other races, things of that nature. I think that's something that's really not so good. So I, did a little research and a few little things, little Chat GPT, little Gemini, little Google, not too much, but a few things. Just had a few questions as far as the marriage rate between black men and black women, and it's so that the marriage rate is about 85% of black men are married to black women. And so now they also made me think, well, these boys get money, they gonna get them something that don't look nothing like their mama. You know what I mean? They jump into the other side. And so, but then I looked that up and it said for men making over $100,000 a year, it's 84% of them are married to black women. There's a lot of vitriol between us, but it's still showing that for the most part, black men are marrying their black women, or if they do decide to get married, they for the most part choose to stay with their own race. And so my question that I have for all of you guys is, I had a few things in mind of what was going on, but I did also want to ask the young ladies, what do you think is the problem in that, and how do you think we all can solve that problem between the disconnect between black men and black women?
Mm.
I would say one is how to effectively communicate with one another.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that because without effective communication, a lot of times it becomes a situation to where you're almost in competition with the black woman, right? And when you're in competition with the black woman, it's okay to have a friendly competition with your wife or with your spouse because everything goes into one pot. But to be actually competitive against another black woman when you're supposed to be trying to uplift each other or a black woman having that competition with a black man when she's supposed to be trying to uplift her man and vice versa. I think that just brings too much vitriol. That just brings too much too much opposition into what you're trying to do and where y'all are trying to go. And it's something that really is going to really need to change. We got a lot of hurt folks out here, but I just want to remind everybody that's been hurt. We all been hurt by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We all been hurt. We all got a past. We all want to say, if that Negro, if that be from your past, this, that, or the third, they did you wrong. However, doesn't necessarily mean that 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 everybody is in the same boat. And also, a lot of the times, there's a big problem that we have as well. I believe is sometimes you're looking for what you think is a great man or is a great woman, and it's mainly based off either material or it's based off their appearance. Appearance and materialistic things do not make a human being at all. Those things to be stripped away at the drop of a second. You know, you can be rich
Well,
today
I
and be
mean,
broke tomorrow.
I like my men medium ugly, but I still want to be able to look at you when you on top of me.
I'm
I,
ugly.
hey, I'm
Everybody gonna
But
have an ugly face. Everybody gonna have an ugly
hey,
face in that manner. Because if you ain't got no
I'm
little ugly
trying
screwed up
to.
face a little
I'm
bit,
trying to. I'm trying to
it
make it
might not be
cute.
that good. Everybody gotta have a
hey,
little wrinkle of face.
But I agree with Shay. Like the communication when it comes to like in relationships is hard work.
Right.
It is.
mm,
It's some hard work to be put into because you're bringing two people together, and honestly, a lot of people are not healed in the capacity they should be healed in. They're still harboring. A couple past traumas. My mama this, my daddy this. I ain't get this, I ain't get that. My last relationship. And you can't really take any of that to somebody else when you're trying to love them properly. I think Shay made a good point when it's like that communication. That is like the overall. That's really the main thing. How you talk to people. How
That's right.
you can't be me. I've learned to not talk crazy to men, like call them punk ass bitches and niggas. You can't do that. Because that's like men get real sensitive about that. So they get like real sensitive when you call them, bitches, and I'm trying to
Yeah,
whisper that. They get real sensitive. So it's like on
yeah.
the same token, but as a man, you should be talking to me more gentle. You want a gentle woman, talk to me gentle.
Thanks.
Cause if
And
you
the
talk to me like
problem.
you a hood dude, you gonna get a hood rat, okay?
That's right. I understand. And the problem that I've had that I had to correct myself over the years is don't be so condescending. Stop talking to that girl like you think you better than her, like you know more than what she knows. She ain't got no. You're not gonna ever listen to what she say because you smarter than her. That right there could piss somebody off. I know it'll piss me off, so I can only imagine me doing that to a woman that'll piss them off too. Because I used to be really bad at that.
Yeah,
And so that's
I
something that I
know a
had to
lot of
work on
men
as
who
well.
do that. I know a lot of
Yeah,
men who do that.
yeah. You don't know what that girl, you don't know what that woman know. You don't know what that woman can do. You don't know what kind of information that woman got for you that can help your life, change your life, put both of y'all in a better situation, uplift you. You don't know what she gonna be able to tell you. And so that's something that as men, we got to check ourselves on because while you may think you're smart in one area, you're definitely dumb in another area, and she might be super smart in that area.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
So it's just,
And accepting, one might be like I've dated a few men who I was a little more intelligent.
And I bet you made it known too, Ivy, didn't it?
You said what?
You made it known too, didn't it?
I did, bitch. I can't help it.
Every
And you listen, as a woman, it is like, especially when you get a man that's a little slow, you be like, oh hell, like you just, y'all
nah.
don't understand the struggle. The
some of
struggle
y'all be liking
of
them niggas that drool.
now. I like now. I do like my man. Now I do like my man to shut up. I do like a quiet man. Sometimes the chatty man irritates me. Who is doing that?
I thought somebody had to take their clothes at the dry or something. I didn't know what that was.
Like who is doing that? I
That mean they not accepting what you saying, Ivy.
So yeah,
Man,
That's what it is. Because every time you say something, they
See, that's the problem. They don't know how to effectively communicate. They doing a little buzzer instead of using their words. See,
like listen,
buzz
man, acting like listen, man on here.
buzz that. But it's true. Like it is. I think now because women have acquired so much knowledge. You know, we're in the working force with the men. We're the most educated, and honestly, some of us have came from the hood, so we do got a little bit of a little street smarts and a little book smart. So it's just like it's a little hard trying to. I don't know. Some guy said he
yeah,
thought I was nice until he started talking to me, and then I was mean. I was just like, well, I didn't. Okay, well, damn, that hurts. It hurts a
yeah.
little.
And that is
What?
something as well to be spoke
Yeah.
on as well. What you said that women have elevated a lot more in their
Mhm.
careers, in their education, and things of that nature. So a lot of the times they have the attitude, well, I don't really need this man, X, Y, Z, which is very detrimental to the nuclear family. Because a woman, we need that woman to want her black man, and we need that black man to want his black woman. Because when we're just by ourselves, we're nothing by ourselves. It's crazy.
I'm loving these dings. Cause
For
what?
real. My boy came with the yeah,
Say,
but
you
but
better fix up in mid sentence.
yeah, we need that. Like I said, but before race, we need that because out of all other races, black men and black women and black families make the less amount of money and overall are the
Mhm.
least educated compared to our white counterparts or even our Hispanic counterparts. They make more money. Their families usually last longer, and they find a way to work with each other and to figure out each other and deal with each other. Divorce rate is extremely high. Black women are the highest rate of women who to file divorce from their black men, and I think some of that comes from that mentality that I can do this by myself. I don't need them. Why? Because I see my mama do it by herself, and she had half the education I got. If she could do it, I know I could do it. I seen Granny do it when Papa left. Papa had a whole nother family across town. I ain't gonna be like that. She ain't gonna get me like that. I'm gonna be able to do this by
Now
myself.
I can't say this because I can't say this. Then you next. Now I can't say this. Then in the field that I have, then in the field that I have been in, I have seen more unmelanated women put up with abuse of their children, abuse of themselves. I've seen them just put up with it more than I've seen black women do. So I can't say that the divorce might be high against black women, but a lot of us we gonna get that skill and we're gonna knock that man out. You know, honestly, transparency. The other ones they just put up with it until the kids get grown or until he knock off the whole family. You know, so unfortunately that's just what I've seen. I've seen with my own eyes. Most of them stay through that because their game plan in the end is, well, we gotta stay together for my family. We gotta at least get these kids to college. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. I'ma just stick it out. I'ma just have an exit plan when they do get older. You know, black women, unfortunately, I ain't sticking around for you to kill me sometimes. Like some of them do, some of them don't. You know,
I definitely hear that. Any abuse I feel, anytime abuse comes in there, you gotta go. You gotta, ain't no talking that out. You
right?
gotta go. But there's also a thing called gray divorces as well. Are y'all familiar with gray divorces?
Explain.
Gray divorces are people who divorce when they're over 50 years old.
Mhm.
It's another category that black women lead like 3 to 1 in because they've reached a certain status, they've reached a certain age where they feel like I don't need a ninja no more. Now I could be the breadwinner, and I'm gone. Now again, I'm gonna go back to what I said before. Anytime you're being abused, anytime you're just with a no good, nothing ass dude, there's no excuse for that, and a woman should leave. A woman should leave. However, I've been in situations, and I know situations, and I could just speak for my own family. Sometimes some things can be worked out. There's some things that can nothing dealing with abuse, but besides that, a lot of things can be worked out if both of you guys. Okay, so I think both of you
Mm.
guys have to have the mentality. The sun and the moon both got a job to do, and they both gonna shine. They both got a job to do, and they
So
both
so
can shine.
I'm looking up gray marriage, and one of the main ones was empty nest syndrome. It's basically where women, once the children leave home, they divorce. And I know a lot of people like that. Honestly, my mama did that.
My
And
mama
they
ain't
do.
never.
Powerless.
That's the
Hold up.
duck hunt game right there. That sounds like when you shoot the duck on the duck hunt game on
Hey,
Nintendo.
it's true, but you gotta look. Think about it. Do it do more harm or more good? Waiting a marriage out because you want your children to see a two parent home. That's toxic, possibly.
Well, toxicity, I think a lot of that stuff, toxicity, things of that nature, a lot of that stuff can be worked out with therapy. Black folk don't believe in therapy. They
They
think they
def-
can pray everything away. And that's a problem that we do have. A lot of times we can go, but I think getting a divorce when you're 25, 50, or 65, that still affects your kids. Even if your kids don't live with you, because they see that. It's going to affect that young man. It's going to affect that daughter that might look at that and be like, oh, that nigga tripping? I'm going to get this nigga 10 years, I can be cheering out just like my mama did, and I'm finna get rid of his ass too. And I think a lot of black women, I've also seen surveys that say the majority of the women who do file for divorce, and mainly again, I'm speaking of black women, 5 years later, they regret it. They overreacted. It could have been worked out.
I look, cause I see like that late life, the late life divorces. I'm not there. I'm not late in life, so I can't. Am I? I'm not 40 yet, so no. I'm still.
I'm for it. Hey, if I get married now, I'm gonna rock with her till the wheels fall off. Even if her booty
Hey,
stink, we gonna
yeah,
have to.
like
I'm gonna get her some wipes, and we gonna work this out.
you supposed to know if it's thing. Anywho, that's
That,
premarital sex.
well,
But
you right. We definitely doing that.
But me, I've known a lot of people who do that, men and women. I know a man who initiate a few men who initiate divorce after their children left the home. I couldn't wait to get rid of that bitch. I just think that a lot of people do stay for children, and their children get older, and then I hear a lot of my friends talk about this, how their parents traumatized them with how toxic they was in their marriage, and now they're struggling to maintain a good relationship because they've seen their parents fight, not speak to each other. My parents, I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen my parents fight, but Lord, you knew the tension was in that house because you can cut it with a knife, like a butter knife at that. Like it was so intense,
Yeah,
and sometimes it kind of does create confusion in your children's mind, especially as they get older because they're not sure how to navigate a relationship because all they saw was your toxic relationship. But the thing is, all people say is two-parent home, two-parent home. They're pushing it so bad, you know. That's why I'm down for stepdaddies. Find you a stepdaddy, okay? Find them kids a stepdaddy.
that's a whole another ball game. We ain't go there,
It
but
is.
like we were talking about earlier, when Hippy brought up that tragic scene that he had to walk in with all that boy wanted was a slice of coconut pie. And had to walk in there. And I said, shit, it traumatized me when I saw my mama throw a hot iron at my daddy. You know, and hence the reason they're divorced now. But uh, that is traumatizing to a child. And I will
Mhm.
say this: I have an older sister that's 45. Me, I'm 40. My parents got a divorce when my brother was very young. My brother's 10 years younger than me, so it didn't really make too much of a difference for my brother because he was so young. He was maybe 2 or 3 years old when my parents got divorced. My brother, between me and my sister, is the only one who's married. Me and my sister ain't never been married or engaged. And so I think that kind of played a little role,
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
that. Now, as a grown man, I ain't gonna blame my parents for my mistakes and and stupid shit I did, over the years and stuff like that. I probably could have been married a long time ago had I
But
not been being
it
silly.
shaped your viewpoint early on,
It
and you have
does.
to recover from that. That's something
It
that you have to
does.
recover from.
It
Meanwhile,
does.
you everybody else jogging and you're walking. Now they're sprinting. You're trying to jog to keep up, or you're trying to change everything. So it does affect your children. Unfortunately, let's just focus on. I tell people focus on making sure they're the right person before you have their children.
That's a big fact. That's a big. I look at one of my best friends. He's been married for what 11, 12 years now. Now they've had their ups and downs. Well, they had to move away from each other, separate from each other for a little while. But they're back. strong with their kids, beautiful family, this, that, and the third. His parents are always married and still married. They still go date night every Friday night. So he grew up seeing that healthy marriage. And I look at him sometimes when I be like, hey, boy, we finna go, let's go hit this club or go hit this lounge or something like that. He said, man, let me check with the wife real quick first. And I'll be like, damn, I
Mm-hmm.
wish I had that. I'd love to be able to say, let me check with my wife. Or even if my wife don't care, I can blame it on her. Be like, nah, she tripping tonight, bro. Knowing good and well, I really don't want to go. But I can just blame it on her. And it's all good, which he probably do sometimes, you know. I think that's beautiful. I love to see a black man say, let me check with my wife," or if I'm talking to a brother and he got that wedding ring on his finger. We in the club or something like that with all these women around. He make sure he got that wedding ring nice and tight. I think that's the most beautiful thing ever. I love to see it. I think that's just great. I love to see that black love like that black household. I like that. I think that's really really good.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the army done traumatized me because, baby, I done seen. Let me shut up.
Well, yeah. I ain't military. Yeah, I ain't been married no military woman, and I
What?
understand why women don't want to marry no military men. It's the
And they
military
should
people.
not. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
military
hey, hey,
people.
hey, hey. Hold on.
Boom, boom, boom. That's my own sound effect. I had to bring that one.
Well, you
Yeah,
know what?
no,
I
maybe
get
not
checked
active.
for my people. I get checked for my mental health, so we're good now. But yeah, I just I understand. Like I do understand the whole, black family. I love black families. I'm an advocate for it. I want people to heal before they dive into these relationships, have children and then get married or just have children in general because these children suffer more. Especially in my field, you see these children suffer so much because of generational curses. It's just like these babies didn't deserve that. They don't deserve
Facts. That's a fact.
Can I add into that what I think the beef
that.
is
Mhm.
between black men and women?
Mhm.
I think it has to do with the dominance in the household. You're seeing
Mm.
more women being
Woo.
more dominant, and I think that's actually like a problem. You hear a lot of women say, "I want to, be in my soft girl era, but I can't because this man can't do this, or he can't do that." I think that's like
Yep.
a major problem that I've seen in the black home.
Yes,
Mm.
you right on the money
Because
with
if
that
you
one, bro.
with me, Ivan gonna get you right. Ain't that right, Ivan?
Hey, hold on. But it's true. Like I'm gonna be honest. As women, we love to be soft and gentle for our men. It is kind of hard doing that when you got somebody that is not properly leading you. Now I'm gonna let you lead, but I ain't about to let you lead me to oblivion.
Yeah, but do you know how to though? Because I've always said if you've never had to do it, nor if you've never seen it, how would you know how to allow somebody else to take the reins over when you've been doing that your whole
I'm a
life?
great leader, but I'm also a great follower. I absolutely can do both.
Okay,
I can do both. Like as a leader, you have to be a good follower too. You
that
gotta
is
be able
true.
to know when when things getting sticky around there. Like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and take the lead. I put it like that. I just talked to this man about this. I was like, I use my brain every day, all day at work, school. I wanted to be with a man and I don't want to even have to think about what I want to eat next. Like I want him to make all these decisions. And I know this sounds so toxic to some, but I don't want to use my brain, to make every decision. He's like, what you want to eat? Just pick somewhere. What you want to do? You pick the place. Like all of that. That's what I want my man to do. I
Okay.
don't want to think. Pump the gas, take the trash, like all that good stuff.
Well, that's obvious. Yeah, as a man, you gotta do that now. You no woman pump no game.
Rub my
Uh,
feet.
That too.
Yeah, all that.
Oh, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, and as a man, you don't want to do that because that's what's gonna get you the goods at the end of the night. You got to, make sure she happy. She in a good spot.
Yeah.
She gonna be willing to bust it open for you, and that's what you want at the end of the day, don't you? You want to be able to bust it open nice and freely, and enjoy and want to bust it
That's
open for
that's
you.
all y'all want to do. That's all y'all want to do at the end of the day. Get
Not
some.
all, but that's a good because we've been fighting the world all day.
Yeah.
We want to come home to some
True.
good loving.
Hey Rick, that's
True.
part
It
of the
don't.
beef right there. that box.
Yeah,
That's part of the beef.
men are not that complicated. Yeah, men are not complicated at all. We are not. It's very, very, very easy in most cases to please a man. Just
Hmm.
act like you like us. Give us a little nook every now and again. Maybe feed us every day. You know, cook a little meal. You ain't gotta do it every day. Every blue moon.
Uh,
Even if you can't cook that good, it's made out of love. It just tastes a little better when it's made out of love. You know.
it do.
She tried. I'm gonna eat this because she tried. Then I'm gonna eat her.
I don't know, cause I heard men complain that when they get married, they don't get none. So I don't.
Well, that's another thing too that I've heard because the woman's already got what she wants. She got that marriage. And so she ain't got to try to do nothing no more because you ain't gonna leave me. I'm gonna take half what you got. So
Yeah.
the ball is in my court, and I think
Yes.
that's why a lot of men might have a lot of not aggression, but a lot of contention towards women in some cases because it's almost like you're using you fooled me. You know what I'm saying? You tricked me.
Well,
Now
that's
you get
one
what
of
you,
them, but I also think men are still requiring women to be contributors to the household while still cooking and cleaning and rearing the children.
See,
that
I
is
think
Yeah,
that's
true.
we
the part.
tired.
I think that's part of the beef right there. Like Rick said, when you get married, you get the ring, but also if you had a kid, like once you get married, I think the man actually falls to the end of the totem pole.
Yeah,
And the child kind of becomes that first, priority, and then it's the wife and then the husband.
yeah, and it should be according to the good book. It should be the other way around. The husband should always come first, even before your kids. I know it's crazy to say that. It's crazy for women to think that, but in the best household,
Your spouse should come first, not just your husband. Your spouse
no, no,
should
no, no,
come
not your spouse, no, your husband, not your wife, your husband, your
your
husband. It goes
spouse.
God, it goes God. I'm just going off the book, what the book say. You know, we can believe what we want, but what according to what the book say, when the preacher preaches what he's gonna say, it's supposed to go in the house. God is first, your husband is second, the wife comes next, and then the kids. That's where I was supposed to go because the wife and the husband can't compete for who comes first. You have to have a pecking order. You have to have a king. If you're going to be a king, you're going to have a queen. The king and the queen have never been on the same totem pole. It doesn't mean she's lesser than him. It's just a pecking order in the house.
I think people misconstrue a lot of the stuff when it comes to the Bible because y'all gotta understand your spouse do come first, but children are not they can't self protect at a young age. So you have to make sure your children are typically safe and fed and cared for. Then
Oh,
you get to
definitely.
your child. Once they
Well,
get
yeah,
older,
definitely,
that's
definitely.
where you change things, because people keep people getting that confused, and it's just like, okay, take care of these children first because they're small, they're not of protecting age, so you have to make sure that they have everything they need. Your marriage is not on the back burner. You're just taking care of your children first. Make your bedroom. That's why that co-sleeping. I don't really suggest co-sleeping anymore. I used to, but if you want to make sure that your family is you're following those typical protocols or whatever you call it. Make sure that you set your house up in that order. Your husband to get up and take care of the kids too, especially if she gotta
Definitely, I agree.
especially she gotta work. If she gotta work, you
Def-
better get up. You better also get down.
Definitely, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. It don't even matter that if she a stay at home mom, you still need to get up and see about them kids too. What I was mainly speaking to is you can only have one leader in your household. There's nothing great has ever come from having two leaders. Nothing. When you go to war, you got a leader. You have to have a leader. And I think a lot of women don't want to have to subside that. They don't want to have to say, well, I'm going to take a back seat. My husband comes first. I think a lot of women aren't with that because they feel like I really don't even need it, nigga. I got me a good job. I can be first in my household. It can be me and my baby. We'll be just fine without this dude, which is the worst thing you could possibly do.
I'm tired of paying these bills. I'm tired of paying. I'm ready for a minute. Pay these.
You gonna let him be a leader? If he pay him though, will he be the number one in your household?
Of course.
Because I ain't paying no bills if I ain't number one.
He
I
tell
think
me
every
be quiet.
man.
I'm gonna be quiet. I remember I was
Okay,
with
well,
this
yeah,
guy. He was like, "You ain't gonna talk to me like that in my house, and you don't pay no bills." I shut the hell up so fast. I was like, "You know
yeah,
what? You right."
that's right.
Because I'll be
But
damned if I pay a bill.
but we also have to say as well, regardless if he's paying all the bills or not, regardless if he's 50-50 or maybe he's 75, she's 25, regardless of how it goes, that structure is not going to change the fact that how a man is and how a woman is in the order that God wants it to be in. No matter who
I
pays
understand
more
what you're
money.
saying. It is harder to adapt to that when a woman has to do 50% of the providing. Harder. You mean to tell me I gotta provide 50% of this household, but still allow you to lead completely? Oh hell no! You gonna take
Definitely.
100% of the? No, you ain't doing that. You gonna take 100%, and you can lead properly because that's where that gray area comes in. You can't expect for me to provide half of the home income, rearing, and everything else, and you make all the decisions, and you're the main leader. The balance is he is the protector and the provider.
Well, he actually, if he is the leader, he's actually protecting you from having to make decisions because if he makes the wrong decision, it's back on him.
Provider. Provider too.
Provide
That means you gotta be that
provider
means
as
you gotta
well.
provide. You gotta be a
Providing as
provider
well.
too.
But a provider and money are not the same thing. And I think that's one of the biggest disconnects between black men and women that we're still working on. A provider can be a man. He doesn't have to be the make the lion's share of the money to be a provider because the man provides a whole lot more than money, just like a woman provides a whole lot more than sex.
Hmm.
So you can't equate
We
a
make
man with money
homes.
if you
I feel like as
well.
women, we make homes. Men are the providers. We're supposed to make the home. We add our touch to it. We do these, make sure everything is set up in place. The meals are fed. The pantry is full. Like certain things that women do to make the house a home, and it lightens both the load up. But as a
Definitely.
I think we lost
what
somebody.
Hello.
happened?
Uh-oh. Well, no, I was just going to say you're definitely right. But every strong business has a CEO and a COO. You don't see two CEOs. So you got a CEO and you got a COO. When that CEO has a
They
question,
also do,
who does
they
he
also don't
who
get
does
they
he
don't
go
get
to?
paid. They also don't get paid the same. So
That's right. So which is why
by that logic,
no, no,
if you're gonna
you're
leave, lead
exactly
our
right.
way.
You're exactly right. But they don't get paid the same, but it doesn't fall on each other the same. So let's just say an example. You got a married couple and the kids are acting up this, that, or the third. The first thing most people gonna ask is are gonna look at what that boy dad at. What that boy daddy do? Why daddy ain't disciplining him? Why daddy ain't did so and so and so? Because as a man, if you're the leader of your household, everything that goes on in that household, even what they do outside that household, that still falls back on you. It doesn't fall back on that woman. That's not her job. That falls back on you. You're not being a leader if your kids are out of order. No, because that don't all that can't fall on the woman. She can't do all that. You got to take responsibility for that. If them lights get cut off in the house, ain't no, and it's a man living there, ain't nobody gonna say why that woman ain't paid that light bill. They gonna look at the dude. Dude, what are you doing? You ain't got no lights for your family. What kind of bum are you? What are you doing? You in a nice car, and your lady in a raggedy car. Somebody kicking down the door, and you look at her to go run and grab the hammer and go defeat whatever it is out there. Y'all walking down the street, and the man grabs your woman on the booty and try to grab her arm, and you're not gonna say nothing. So it's a lot of things that fall back on that man. And it should, because it's his responsibility. If you're gonna be a leader, you have to lead. You gotta lead. If you ain't leading, she shouldn't
I
respect you as
understand
a
what you're
leader.
saying.
If you're not protecting her, if you're not providing protection, provision not just money, you also have to provide protection. If you're not providing any of that, you have to provide that wisdom. But back to what I was saying, when we're talking about a CEO and a COO, the first thing the person a CEO goes to when they have a question, the issue is that COO. So just because you're the leader doesn't mean what your wife say don't count. No, 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 no. It doesn't work like that. Y'all a team. You might be the leader, but everything should also go through your wife as well. You still need to have that conversation with her. Don't go out there and buy that new car without talking to your wife, bro. That's not what's up. Don't do that. Don't start making plans to do X, Y, Z, and you ain't discussed that with your wife and made sure she was comfortable with that. That's crazy. She got to say so too. And if you want that good old sweet, what we were talking about earlier, you might want to involve her in some of that. You might not want to piss her off all the time like that, but it's gonna you're gonna be real, real, real sad at nighttime.
Yeah, if you want that box combo.
You want that? Yeah,
Oh gosh.
eat that
Oh,
box combo
not a classic combo.
with a pepper,
Jumbo combo.
jumbo combo, baby.
It's
You
a
know what
jumbo
that?
combo.
You know what that thing hitting like?
Hey,
But
for
yeah,
those that have
so
been
yeah.
tuning in and watching, like I said, that is Rick's segment. He has a segment every week. Talk shit with Rick. The topic of the day. So, we really appreciate y'all for tuning in to Optimistic Talk Radio. And make sure y'all catch us next Monday. We about to get up out of here, y'all. We go holla.
Later.
Peace. Yeah.
On the mic, I'm the king of the airwaves, talking about love, fame, and family affairs. From celeb gossip to the latest trends, I keep it real, no need for the bends. Got my earpiece and auto-tune on flexing my rhymes. Ain't nobody on. Relationships, dating games, you name it. I'm the host of Optimistic, here to debate. I'm the voice you hear, the one you know, the one who keeps it real.